Hey, and welcome to my new video. Today's topic is ACES. So my video is not an in-depth tutorial about the whole process of ACES and what ACES is and what ACES does, because it's a really big topic. My video is just here to help you with a smooth start into the world of ACES, and you can do your first images and works or projects in ACES. If you're looking for an in-depth tutorial, I can really recommend Sauls tutorial here on Patreon. Go for $10 Patreon for a month, watch a tutorial, do some notes, learn it, and you will be there for sure. Where you can download the ACES files. Here on GitHub, or just Google it, download ACES files or ACES, you will prompt up here on the GitHub channel of the Academy. It's Academy color, whatever, Download it here, download the zip folder, and it will download where you have your download path, and extract the file and put it wherever you want, where you can access them from anywhere. Okay, so here in Maya, go to Windows, Setting Preferences, and under Color Management, navigate to the location where you save the files, config file, open, and you will be there. Or use a really cool little plugin from a guy who was made, I think he works also on the ACES stuff. So yeah, he's a really big mind about ACES, so he wrote a little script to help you with ACES, so you can load the ACES config files here and it will set up Maya for you correct. You have also the ability to multiple select nodes and convert the IDTs, or a really good help how you have to work with ACES, so the correct IDTs and how you work with Redshift, because there's a little bit difference, but I will show you that later. Yeah, so now you can see if you loaded it up, the viewport is a bit darker if you have a gradient like mine. And here you can see sRGB to ACES. I use here an sRGB monitor, that's why I choose sRGB to ACES. If you have a P3 monitor, choose this one, or Rec 2020, whatever your projects are. And yeah, the view transform will be correct. Yeah, to show you how you work with the textures, we go here to Quixel and import a mesh. So now it's here. Frame it. Yeah, we can disable the tessellation so it will run a bit smoother. And here in the hypershade, just a few explainers here. We don't need this one here. If you work with Arnold, you are almost done now. Just go for the nodes, and for every node that holds in some color information like albedo or translucency, you have to set the correct IDT. Here it's the utility, because it's an AXR utility, utility linear sRGB, and all the others raw is fine. So also the normal map, you don't need to convert them, just the albedo or translucency you have to convert. Maybe SSS also, yeah, I never worked with SSS, so I don't have any idea about that, but yeah. And if you hit render, Arnold will create a TX file, and there will be the transform to ACES. You can use also the TX file from Arnold into your Redshift materials, but I show you the other way because I don't use TX files and I don't use Arnold that much. And yeah, if you work with Arnold, you are done now. Okay, not done you're done, because it will set automatically here under the settings the sRGB ACES, and yeah, happy rendering. And if you work with Redshift, you have to do an extra step. For this purpose, I open it here, Nuke, but you can do that as well with Photoshop with a plugin, but I prefer Nuke, it's super fast with Ctrl-C and whatever. Yeah, go right click, go to files, and here we have the files. Here the albedo, import it. With one you can set it up here, and it looks not correct because Nuke is also set up to ACES and it will display not correct here, and that's why we go double click and under color space. Now here comes all the magic. I have here a little note. I don't want to explain every single stuff of this in my tutorial, so I show it here. You can stop the video and have a look on it. So for HDRs, choose on the color space IDT, that's the read in, how you read in the node or the file. Choose the utility linear sRGB for 8-bit. For 8-bit stuff, utility sRGB textures, and here I have an AXR utility linear sRGB. Here I explain it as well. Some albedo, diffuse, translucency, SSS. Here this conversion, and here you can leave it on raw. Okay, so here on default, go to utility linear sRGB, and you will be there. Now to export it, Ctrl A, go for a right node, Ctrl V, what the, Ctrl A, Ctrl C, here Ctrl V, and put in here some ACES, so you know this is convert to ACES. Hit enter, and we write AXR, so choose the compression what you want, go for DVAA and hit render. It will render it. It takes a few minutes, not a few minutes, few seconds. It's 8K, so, and yeah, you are done. Back in Maya here, go into the node, load in the ACES AXR, and you are done. Yeah, it's not nice when you have a lot of materials. You have to do that for every single material. If you work with textures, if you work with procedural color information, so you don't need to do that. But if you work with textures, yeah, you have to do that. I heard some information about Redshift. The Redshift guys are working on to implement the OCIO workflow better or fully into Redshift, so it will do, I think, similar to Arnold to convert it direct here or with a node. I have no idea, but until they release it, this feature, you have to do it manually. Yeah, next to render it, we need an HDR. Navigate to the folder where you have it. The projects, have it. Texture. HDRs. I have here a few of them to as well convert to ACES. If you want to do it manually, or you don't have to, or you don't have textures, they are not converted, do it as well with Nuke, with the, where is my info? Sorry, here is it. Read in utility linear sRGB and write it out as this and read it in, and you will be there as well. Here I choose, we can choose this one. It's loaded in and fire up the IPR, and it looks nice. Here is a little error message, or error, just a warning. You can fully ignore it because it sets to set to automatic. Yeah, you can ignore it. It doesn't have any influence now, so it's just ignore it. Yeah, for this tutorial, what other plain? Go for this one, or yeah, it's not that super important, but render it, and it's done. Save it. Let's go for desktop. Let's call this ACES tutorial as EXR. Save it. And yeah, save it as PNG. I want to show you something. That's the ACES PNG. If you save it as PNG, it will bake the color niceness of ACES direct into the picture, but you don't. You lose all the ability to work with the AOVs because it's baked in a PNG. It's compressed. It's done. You are finished with it. So you can't really touch it that much, and you will go for the EXR one. Here in Photoshop, we can go to desktop, load in the ACES EXR, and you will see it looks that. If you import the ACES one, it looks that. Okay, not correct because I have to convert it first to 8-bit. But so, Photoshop works in ICC profiles, so that means you can't really import some ACES or OCIO config files, and yeah, that's bad. So please, Adobe, move your ass and do some nice support for this kind of workflow. So if you work with Affinity Photo, you have fully native integrated this ability to work in 32 bits and with custom or with ACES config files or OCO profiles. Yeah, that's also a possibility. But it's also possible to work here in Photoshop. Go for the OpenColor.io plugin so you can download it. Just Google it and you will find it. Navigate to the folder where we have it. Here is it. Load it in. And here for the input we have an ACES image that comes in, and we want to display it in sRGB, so we have to choose here output sRGB and save this as a LUT file. So let's call this ACES LUT. Here it's really important to go for the CineSpace LUT. Save it, close it, and here go for the LUT. Desktop, look for the CineSpace. Here is it, and you're almost there. So you have to give a gamma correct of 0.454. I hope that's correct, yeah. And you will be there. So you can now, under this few layers here, do your compositing of the AOVs. If you are done with the AOVs, Control E, bake it together. Under picture, yeah, mine's in German, so on the picture, go to mode and convert it to 8-bit. And now you can see it. Here's a little difference from the PNG that saves out from the IPR and converted here in Photoshop. That's because, yeah, Photoshop works in other ways that all the other applications does. So you have to live with this little change, or you use Nuke. Here in Nuke, you can delete it. So why? Go. Oh, it's freeze. Nah, it's gone. Just here to PNG. Oh. Import the PNG. Here you have to set up the the output sRGB, because it's already converted, so you don't need to convert it double. So go for output as RGB and import the ACES, and you will see there is no difference between them. A little change is here, but yeah, That's nothing, it's nothing. And you can do the compositing here. After Effects also works with the OCO plugin, but yeah, I don't use After Effects that much. And yeah, so this was the tutorial. I hope you are now not super confused about this topic, and if you have questions, yeah, you know it, feel free to ask. We are here to help all each other. There are a lot of cool guys out there, they have a big knowledge about ACES, they will also help, I think. And or check Arvid Schneider's tutorial, he does also a few very well tutorial about ACES with Arnold and Maya. And yeah, so I hope it helps and have fun, and I wish you bye bye.